It's that time of year. It's the holidays. It's Christmas. Time of joy and peace. Or is it? Among families with hurts, habits, and hang-ups, this is a tough time.
Restoring hope. Open my heart to sing. Taking the darkness inside. Revealing your light. Restoring hope. Open my eyes to see. See the world through different eyes. Revealing your light. Restoring hope.
Happy Sunday to you. This is Restoring Hope Live, a ministry centered in the Gospels of Jesus Christ, reaching out to families and individuals who suffer from life's hurts, habits, and hang-ups. Primarily, the things that cause us to fail, to skip, to stumble. Things that sometimes help us or make us question our faith, question our destiny, question our purpose. It might be alcoholism, it might be drug abuse, it might be anger, it might be a mental disorder or a mental handicap. Maybe you're married to an abusive spouse. And I'm not talking about the back of a hand, I'm talking about the wagging of the tongue. Emotional abuse is one of the most hurtful things that live within families, and unfortunately is way too acceptable. I'm J. Michael McCoy, your co-host. My other two co-hosts are in the house, Dr. Pastor and King Mike Hartwig, and of course Bob Montserrat, the cat in the hat, watching the chat. And we love having Bob around. Bob's a wonderful man of Christ, and plus he, in his real life, is a forensic scientist and has immense knowledge of the body and the workings within alcohol or drugs and the emotional side of life that comes his way. So we welcome you. Our phone lines are open today at 1-855-244-0077. And the topic, tell me about your tough holiday times, your tough Christian Christmas times. And that's that's nothing that you and I don't know.
Yeah, this past week I was asking somebody, "Hey, what are you doing for Christmas? Are you getting together with family?" And I every once in a while you walk into somebody's life like that, and you just hear it all. And she just went on for about 15, 20 minutes. She said they haven't seen their one uncle probably in the last, I'm going to say 4 or 5 years, because he feels so incredibly uncomfortable. Because they usually meet at a family where alcohol is not served and it's not welcomed and things like that. And she only has ever seen him with a drink in his hand.
Wow.
And he will not bring his family, the aunt, uncle, and of course the cousins won't come to that family gathering because he feels so uncomfortable with the alcohol.
Do they
he
say,
can't have it. He can't have it.
Do they say you can't drink alcohol at our...
I think a grandmother does. I didn't really get into that much, but it does. I mean, you could see the pain written all over it. It's dysfunctional. I mean, that family is just dysfunctional over that issue. And the guy just can't walk away from the alcohol for 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, and a phrase that I like saying, not because I enjoy what it means, but it's true, that family is a petri dish for resentments.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, most resentments are born within a family, and the reason we use, and Bob, you're a scientist, what happens in a petri dish? Things grow.
Oh, yeah.
You add elements, you add this, and then you add a little of this and a little of that, and before you know it, you have, sometimes it's good, but most of the time it's bad. It's fungus, it's spores, and in a family, that's resentments.
Well, what would you do? How would you counsel this girl? I mean, she doesn't want to go to the family because it's dysfunctional, and yet she feels obligated to see her aunts, uncles, and parents, of course, are going to be there. I mean, what do you say to her? As a counselor, what do I say to her? As an alcoholic, what would you say to her?
So the uncle doesn't want to come because he can't drink?
Right. Basically, that's it.
I'd tell the uncle to suck it up. No, I really would. I really would. I mean, so all right. So in other words,
that sounds really caring.
Well, but step one,
okay,
in a 12-step program is to admit you are powerless over alcohol, and you have lost the ability to manage your life.
But how do you get that message into him?
Well, but he's allowing alcohol to be more important than 3 or 4 hours with his family.
Yeah, exactly. But he doesn't see it.
Well,
How do you get him to see that?
well,
You just get into his life and say, "Suck it up, pal. You're coming without a drink."
Yeah, you're coming. And if you need, I mean, he's the classic alcoholic that we choose alcohol over family. And when we're not able to
that's exactly it. Alcohol over family.
he chooses alcohol over family.
But he doesn't see it. Well, so do you have an intervention there?
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
Well, let me ask this, though. You're saying the family wants to drink alcohol?
no, the family doesn't drink alcohol.
Yeah, but the uncle does.
And he's not comfortable around the family unless he can have alcohol, which makes total sense to me.
And this is
That's his way of
outside. This
coping.
is someone, one of the kids watching this.
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, I mean, the family shouldn't do anything. The family should not, all of the people in this family, 10, 15, 20 people, should not coddle to Uncle Fred because Uncle Fred is not comfortable if he can't drink. It's Uncle Fred's problem. It's not the family's problem.
You mean you shouldn't let you should go ahead and have your party and all that, only no alcohol, maintain those standards.
Absolutely.
Well, that doesn't sound very caring, though.
Does he admit he's an alcoholic? Does he
No.
admit it? Well, then it doesn't have to be caring. It's his problem.
Isn't it kind of similar to smoking if you don't want people smoking in your house?
Yeah, absolutely. And my guess is it's not just the consumption of alcoholic beverages, it's the behavior that Fred has when he consumes alcoholic beverages.
You mean that he relaxes, he's a little more jovial,
Who knows?
and that kind of stuff.
Who knows?
Is that what you mean?
Maybe he's a dirty old man. Maybe he swears. Maybe he sits in the corner and farts and sleeps. I don't know.
Oh, you mean from the family's perspective?
From the
They're
family
afraid of how
standpoint.
he's going to react
Yeah,
if he gets drinking.
I'm sorry. You're not going to get a lot of
Right.
sympathy from me for the uncle who drinks too much and won't come to family things because they won't let him drink.
No, and the thing is I agree with you, and because as I look at my own life, in our family, it's other issues. It's not necessarily alcohol, but they've all got issues. And Dad just said, "This is what we're going to do. You're welcome to come, but here's the ground rules. If you don't like it, that's tough."
That's right.
But the complaint from the dark side of the family is that, well, you just don't love me. You just don't like me. You don't want me around. And that's not true at all. And
Yeah.
I can hear this uncle saying that.
But see, that's the victim mentality.
Right.
You can't, when somebody plays that card, done. You're done. The conversation is done. You don't love
right.
me. So
Right.
you've gone from, I don't want you in my house smoking because we don't like smoke, to nuclear.
Yeah.
You don't love me.
Right.
Well, the thing is, you have to consider, too, that if he was there drinking, they may not like him
Right.
when he's under the influence.
Correct.
But then there's some people we like better because they are drinking.
Well, I don't know who that is, but
No, really. I mean, they're fun. They're much more. They
Sure.
kind of loosen up, and
Sure.
yeah, they're very interesting. I
Yeah.
think. It's some, not all.
No, not all. Well, and it's all about, it's all about pace. But
Pace. You mean how much you drink at a
yeah,
time?
sure. I mean, when we get together with our Bible study, now these are godly people. My Bible group are the best people in the world. I love every single one of them. But the girls might have a glass of wine, and the guys might have a beer. So what? We have dinner together. That's what we're doing.
But you're not drinking.
Of course I'm not. I'm never. Of course I'm not.
It's because you don't know how to pace.
Oh, absolutely. See,
No, well, what's the difference?
well, people always ask me, how do you know if you're an alcoholic? Well, if you have to ask, that's the first thing. But there's two things. Number one, the five of us, because we've got Maddie and Eric here. So the five of us are sitting around a table. Mm-hmm. And you take a drink and you go, whoa, okay, I've had enough. That feeling in my head is not comfortable. The alcoholic, when he gets that feeling, he says, pedal to the metal, floor it, give me doubles.
Give me more. Give me more.
Yeah. The second thing is we're all sitting around a table and we decide to leave and there's some drinks left on the table, half-drank beers or drinks. The alcoholic cannot leave that alcohol on the table. They're going to drink everybody's glass.
Seems like a waste.
Yeah, seems like a waste. That's right. So, what about your family? Are you suffering from stress and pressure right now because it's about that time? You're gathering and you've got an Uncle Fred. You've got an Aunt Betty. You've got that person who just seems to spoil all of the fun. We'd like to hear from you. 1-855-244-0077. It's Restoring Hope Live here on XM Sirius and the American Family Radio Network.
Restoring hope.
All across America, there are countless numbers of people struggling with addiction and other life-controlling issues. Probably someone you know and love. There is a way out. There is hope. Transformations Treatment Center in Delray Beach, Florida, has a unique approach to substance abuse treatment. Call now and ask about our Guaranteed Success program or log on to transformationstreatment.com. Transformations. Change your life, change your relationships, transform your world.
Here's Twyla Brace, president of CCHF, with today's Health Freedom Minute.
Have you watched The Hunger Games? Robert Pendicio, the executive director of Citizenship First and a former fifth grade teacher, says the movie is a lesson in civics that teaches about freedom and tyranny. The production, he says, will get today's school children to think about citizenship, government power, civil liberties, and media influence. He calls Hunger Games the best parable of totalitarianism since Orwell's Animal Farm. Stories about the Cold War, Soviet gulags, and Cambodia's killing fields don't mean much to the young, he says, but the story of America's founding might be seen in sharper relief if students compare it with the revolution that Katniss, the movie's heroine, inspires.
Learn more about protecting your healthcare choices. Sign up for the CCHF Weekly E-News Update at cchfreedom.org. That's cchfreedom.org.
Good things come in threes. You meet your soulmate, you get married, you have your first child together. Good things do come in threes. And Take Shape for Life is no exception. Your free personal health coach, a professional weight loss coach, the Medifast 5-in-1 plan for healthy weight loss, and the Habits of Health system for a lifetime of good health are three of the best gifts you can give yourself. Together, they lead to the healthy weight control that helps you take shape for life. Lose weight safely and quickly with the Medifast 5-in-1 plan, featuring medically formulated, nutritious, and delicious meal replacements by Medifast. You'll choose 5 Medifast meals each day, one every 2 to 3 hours. Because you eat frequently, you're never hungry, and your metabolism stays revved. Many of the Medifast meals are portable, so you can fit this diet into even the busiest lifestyle. You also get one lean and green meal to eat at the time that works best for you. For the lean, you'll have lean protein. The green is servings of low glycemic vegetables. Depending on your source of protein, you'll get some healthy fat too, and that'll help keep you full and satisfied. While Medifast meals are delicious and nutritionally sound, don't think you'll be committed to meal replacements forever. The 5-in-1 plan is just the first phase of our program. In the transition phase, you'll begin to add more fruits, vegetables, and protein. And on maintenance, you're ready. Optimal health is yours. To speak to a personal health coach, go to RestoringHopeLive.com and click on the Take Shape for Life tab. Then let us know about your healthy new lifestyle and how good you look and feel. And thanks for listening to Restoring Hope Live. That's RestoringHopeLive.com.
Today, millions are struggling with alcohol or drug addiction. If you or people you know struggle with a chemical dependency where a substance owns you, and you have other struggles such as depression, anxiety, or trauma that can often go along with it, get your freedom back and successfully transform your life from one controlled by addiction to a clean, sober, fulfilling life. Contact Transformations Treatment Center, where our caring professionals will help you find your freedom. Transformations Treatment Center offers both a 12-step and a Christian 12-step program, providing healing for the mind, body, and spirit. Take the first step by visiting transformationstreatment.com or by calling 877-989-8223 today. At Transformations Treatment Center, we understand the pain. Call now, 877-989-8223. Get your freedom back. Transform your world.
Restoring hope. Open my heart to sing. Taking the darkness inside. Revealing your light. Restoring hope.
Welcome back to Restoring Hope Live. It's the holiday week, and we sure appreciate you spending time with us today. We know there's lots of choices that you have to listen to on the radio or download a podcast. And for whatever reason, you've chosen to listen to us. And I hope it's Holy Spirit-led. We have some amazing stories. You know, that would be a good one to do a show, to talk about Gator and talk about the mom in Indiana and the grandfather. The blessing of this radio program comes from you. It's not us. It comes from you because God uses us to say things that trigger something inside of you. And then you act and you are motivated and you change lives. And God works through us to help you. And if you ever have those stories of transformation and conviction, please share them with us. Share them with us through email or voicemail or on Facebook or however you want to communicate. You can call me. Anytime. My cell phone is public knowledge. I would love to hear from you. I love to hear how God moves in your lives.
Yeah, I want to get back to this, Mac. Yeah, I'm surprised just the way you pitched it, it just sounded that it's pretty cold. I'm surprised you're not pushing for intervention on this guy.
Of Uncle Fred?
Yeah, Uncle Fred. I mean, here's what I hear you saying is have your party without Uncle Fred. And if you didn't want to come, he can't do it without a drink. Just
That's right.
Let him stay at home.
That's right.
I mean, that seems pretty heartless.
Well, but it's Uncle Fred's problem. It's not the family's problem. And the family.
No, yeah, but if we're in a family, it's all of our problem.
Well, okay. So here's the thing about an intervention. All right.
What is an intervention from your perspective?
Well, an intervention is very, very hard on a family because an intervention, you have to draw a line in the sand, and that line cannot be movable. And if you think Bob, I'll use us as a family here. If Maddie's the one I'll use me. You're dragging me into an intervention because you're tired of my drinking.
Okay.
And the line is, you're not going to do a radio show anymore with me, Mike.
Okay.
Okay. And Eric,
and you're threatened by that?
And no, hold on. Yeah. And Eric's not going to produce the show anymore. And Maddie's not going to be my friend. And her dad, who I love dearly like a brother, is not going to have anything to do with me. But Bob he can't make that commitment. He won't leave me. He still wants to do the show. He still believes that the Holy Spirit has brought him around to be on my side and help me. So the intervention won't work.
If there's one weak link?
One weak link. And if Bob doesn't come, that's even worse.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Yeah, if he doesn't come to the party.
If he doesn't come to the intervention. At the intervention, because as an addict and an alcoholic, I'm looking for just one hero.
That makes sense.
I'm just looking for one person that'll be on my side because that super energizes me. Wow. One person. Oh, you mean you do love me that much? You're not going to abandon or betray me.
Right.
I am lovable to you.
Right. And that feeds off it.
Right.
They're the ones that are bad. He's not.
Right. So I don't know anything about this family. I only know what you told me. But from what I hear, there's not a lot of love for Fred.
Well, there is. They want him at the party. They miss him. But he's kind of pent up, and he doesn't want to come to the party unless he has alcohol with him.
Is Fred married?
Yeah, has kids.
All right. And how do they feel?
Well, they don't like it. They feel uncomfortable too.
The fact that they can't come?
No, they feel uncomfortable with his drinking. And they can't come to the party.
Okay. Because the wife and kids.
And that's where there's a weakness, and that's kind of the angle I went, is, well, if he wants to stay home with his alcohol, let him stay at home. But the kids, I think I would.
Yeah, mom and the kids should come.
Yeah, right. That's what I ended up telling him.
And whatever wrath Fred is putting on mom, mom's got to be strong enough to say, listen, I love you, but the alcohol issue is your issue, not mine.
Well, if one of the kids stay home. That's what you're saying. Is it kind of confirms mom and a couple of the kids go to the party. One stays home with dad.
Well, and that's okay too. I mean, the guy's an alcoholic, and I know when I say this, the phones are going to light up, but it's not his fault. Alcoholism is a disease. Okay, you don't choose to be alcoholic.
Well, now, wait a minute. Well, I want to call in right now, too.
Well, that's fine. But I'm just telling you, alcohol is a disease, and that's been determined long time ago by the American Medical Association.
Well, it might be a disease, but it's something that we carry out. And if he can't control it, obviously he needs
help.
Right, he needs help. And who's going to push him in to get that out?
Well, only he can. Only he can decide to get sober. There are people, and Frank, I got Frank on the phone holding. I'm going to get to you in just a second. There are people constantly pushed into sobriety by a loved one, by a job, by the law.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Okay, we call those people, they're on paper. Okay, or they're white-knuckle drunks because they're not willing to do anything other than, if I don't quit drinking, my wife's going to divorce me, or I'm going to get fired, or I can't get another OWI because then I lose my license. surrender.
Yeah, but people don't want to surrender.
Well, but they do, though. They do want to surrender. They just need to know
Ultimately.
that they are loved and it's comfortable. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And
it works better
Yeah.
by not being on the bottle.
And that's why the 12-step programs are so important, because until you've been to, have you ever been to a 12-step meeting?
No,
Okay.
no.
Now, why do you
no.
say it that
no,
way?
I have no desire to go on one.
Oh,
I have enough issues in my life.
Well,
It did come across bad. I didn't mean to come across that way.
everybody should
Right.
attend a 12-step meeting a couple times, because you don't realize the love
Right.
and the compassion.
That is true. That is true. And in the guys and the situations that I've been in and I've been able to watch, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So-
It saves people's
Yeah.
lives.
Yeah.
You know, I was in a meeting this last weekend, and a guy walked in and he wanted to talk, and he basically in I'm going to say it in 30 seconds, and he took 5, and he said, I can't do this anymore. I've been doing this since I was 16 years old, and I don't have a wife. I don't have any kids. I don't know if I'm going to lose my job, but I need your help. Saying to the room, I need your help. I can't do this without you. I need an accountability partner. He has a dog named Jacob, and Jacob doesn't care if he drinks. That's exactly what he says. This guy's all alone in a house. All he's got is a dog, and he finally stepped up and came into a room of people. And this is a white-collar business guy. He finally came in and said, I can't do this without you. And you should have seen the tears. There's 60 people in that meeting. and
Because people could relate to what he said.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've all, and we love the pride that he's discarded.
Right. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I got goosebumps when you say it, because God has been working in my heart so much about pride and arrogance.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad finally.
Just
Good.
finally.
Let's go to Frank. Frank, you're live on Restoring Hope Live. How you doing, Frank?
Good, thanks. Hey, I got a point on this Christmas depression, but I wondered if you'd indulge me to ask Bob a short, unrelated question.
Sure.
Hey, Bob, I've read somewhere, you being a forensic scientist, I read somewhere a report that said something to the effect that the studies have shown that the heart is such a magnificent creation that scientists don't understand why it should ever wear out. Have you read anything like that? Do you have any sources where I could...
Frank,
No,
are you still there?
Yeah.
Oh, you were so abruptly stopped. I thought maybe we would cut you off.
Oh, no.
No, I have not read any studies on that aspect of what you're talking about, that it would indefinitely go on and on. You know, it is a muscle. It's a pretty good muscle, and it all functions. You know, there are many aspects of how it functions and why it functions and how it's controlled, and we're trying to master that. But to keep it going indefinitely, I'm not aware
Well,
of any
they just speculated that there's no reason they see that it should ever wear out, is the point I guess I was trying to make, that it's such a magnificent creation, and I think it just lends its hand to the fact that we're created in the image of God, and we were meant to live forever, and obviously if we were meant to live forever, the heart was meant to live forever.
Well, yeah, and everything with every other organ would be under that same thing.
Well, my point about Christmas is, or holidays in general, I think the holidays are generally a depressing time. I've never had anything particularly of tragedy that's went on in that period of my life, and I've always found it kind of depressing. And I've kind of come to the conclusion that it's cold, things are dead, things look depressing. The salt and the sand and the snow just makes things look dingy and dirty and depressing. And when it's cold like that, there's less activities outside, and you're forced to kind of be inside. And if you don't have a real close-knit family where there's some interaction and some support going on between family members, you just kind of feel isolated.
I lived up in northern Wisconsin for the longest time, and I had a great time up there, except for the first 2 years I was up there. I hated this time of year until we started playing in the snow and playing in the weather.
Frank's got a great point, and thanks for the call, Frank. When we come back from this break, that's exactly what we're going to zero in. What is it about family gatherings at Christmas time that are so hard for some people? And it's not just about Uncle Fred wants to drink and they won't let him. It is far beyond consumption of a drug or alcohol. It's something inside that's broken, that is sad when other people are so happy. What is it about that? We'll talk about that We want to welcome Transformations, transformationstreatment.com. They are the people that are here to help us and come alongside you if you need help.
Restoring hope.
All across America, there are countless numbers of people struggling with addiction and other life-controlling issues. Probably someone you know and love. There is a way out. There is hope. Transformations Treatment Center in Delray Beach, Florida, has a unique approach to substance abuse treatment. Call now and ask about our Guaranteed Success program or log on to transformationstreatment.com. Transformations. Change your life, change your relationships, transform your world.
Counsel.
So, I'm a dog, and I'm kind of new to this family, but I've noticed a trend. My humans do this thing where they go around and get all my toys and hide them in this basket, but it's always the same basket, and it's always the same place. And then they act so surprised when I find them, but I'm like, hello, that's where you put it last time. Humans are the worst at hide and go seek.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
So, Jacqueline.
Yes, Mom?
I wanted to talk to you about something and... Oh, wait. Hold on. I just got a text. Oh, there's another one. Wow. Busy me. So, anyway...
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. My friends keep commenting on my comment. Oh, there's another one. So many comments on my comment.
Oh, I can't wait to watch TV tonight. Playoffs!
Hey guys, check out my new video game. Pew, pew. Wait, Mom, what?
What? Hold
What'd you say? Wait a second, what?
This weekend, unplug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
The Pocket Testament League presents Pocket Power. Read, carry, and share the gospel every day.
Talking with strangers is exactly opposite my personality. Very difficult and immensely stressful. But how can I keep quiet? Yesterday was the first time I've went with people from my church specifically for evangelism.
This is Mike Brickley, president of the Pocket Testament League. League members have found that any place is a good place to share a pocket gospel with someone they meet. Join us and you'll always be ready. Is there anything more important?
As we talked with people, I watched their faces change. Suspicion became interest. Interest turned to concern. Concern to guilt. But guilt became surprise and amazement. Thank you for helping me share the best gift I've been given.
What are you waiting for? Read, carry, and share the gospel every day. For more information, call 1-800-636-8785 or visit pocketpower.org. That's pocketpower.org.
Here's Dan Celia with today's Stewardship Moment.
It's always amazing to me that only 3 to 4% of Christians tithe. Listen to Ezekiel 44:30. The best of all the first fruits of your special gifts will belong to the priest. You are to give them first portions of your ground meal so that a blessing may rest on your household. It is clear that God in His Word wants us to give first fruits. And I'm sure as I do, you pray for God's blessing upon your household and your family. And as you pray for that blessing, do you give to Him what is rightfully His?
You've just heard a Stewardship Moment with Dan Celia of Financial Issues Ministry, helping you plan, give, and invest wisely. For more information, log on to financialissues.org. That's financialissues.org.
Restoring hope. Open my heart to sing. Taking the darkness inside. Revealing your light. Restoring hope.
Welcome back. It's Restoring Hope Live on the Sunday before Christmas, and we're talking about how difficult it can be to be around families. And I think one of the things is that if you don't have inner joy, which I didn't for 40-some years of my life, being around people that are happy and joyful and enjoying themselves.
Yeah, but what if everybody in the house is crabby, and they're grumpy.
Well,
and they don't want to be there either.
Probably a pretty good Christmas then.
Because everybody's crabby.
Yeah. I mean, and you know this about me. I hated Christmas. I hated the holidays.
Right.
First off, I
But
didn't
why?
I did. First of all, I didn't understand Jesus.
Right.
I knew God, and I had a relationship with God. And I always said, if I've got the CEO, why do I need the kid?
Right.
You know, I don't get this Jesus thing. And then Jesus mugged me, and my life changed. But my wife is the opposite of me. She gets it and always has. And my wife is a joyous, joyous person around Christmas. She loves Christmas. Our house, we have a room in our house that is the size of most people's bathrooms, and the only thing that's in that room is Christmas decorations. And right after Thanksgiving, literally that weekend after Thanksgiving, all the pictures, everything in our house came down that was normal, or not, that was regular, and everything that's Christmas came up.
Right.
And the tree and the wrappings, and she buys Christmas gifts year round. And she has a trunk that she keeps them in a private place that I don't peek. And for years, I would almost ruin every Christmas she had because I was humbug. And here's the other thing. It wasn't about me. If you're a person who thinks the world should rotate around you, guilty as charged, no longer, but I did feel that way, it's not rotating around me. It's rotating around the grandchildren. And the heat's up, and it's too hot, and we're eating food that I don't like, and everybody wants my attention, and it's
Right. And I think...
And if you're listening and you can relate to that, I love you. And I don't have an answer for you other than surrender your life to Jesus and realize that it's not about you. It's about everybody around you, that it's your turn to serve others. People ask me, what do I do for a living? You know what I tell them? Honor God, follow Jesus, serve others. And I do that through a variety of ministries. Before, when somebody asked me what I do for a living, I would give you my resume of successes in my life. But it was all about me.
Right. I think one of the things about bringing family together is it really helps us realize and brings to the point of our mind is that in many ways, if this is the best that life has to offer, it can be pretty depressing.
Yeah.
And if it's all about us, man, what you're saying is absolutely right. If it's all about us, this is the best it's going to get. I mean, you're never going to love me the way I want to be loved. I don't get the presents I want to get. And so you turn to all kinds of things like alcohol, drugs, and so you try to find your joy out of that.
I as growing up as a kid, I didn't like Christmas.
Yeah.
I never got what I wanted.
What was the best Christmas present you ever got growing up? Ooh, stumped him.
I remember being at my Uncle Bob's one Christmas, and all I wanted was a BB gun, and I didn't get it.
Oh, you'll put your eye out with one of those.
and I don't know why I remember that Christmas. I was just devastated that I was probably a pain in the beakus because I did not get what I wanted.
Now, what does that say though? I mean, that points out exactly what we're talking about.
What it told me was I was unlovable.
Right, but that wasn't what it was.
No, it was about
telling you how selfish you were.
Yes.
It was all about you.
Yes.
And then you grow up.
Yes.
You don't like Christmas anymore.
Yeah. And
perfect yourself.
Now I love Christmas. But
because you've gotten this idea that it's not about you.
Yeah. And if it, kind of like Frank, and I know Frank personally, and Frank's got a great family. His daughter's a spectacular young lady, and so I know he's surrounded by wonderful people. But that doesn't matter sometimes. Sometimes it's just that thing we have inside of us that tells us we're unlovable. And you know who that is?
It's the accuser.
It's the accuser.
Right.
It's the accuser who has control of your mind. And there's nothing the accuser wants more than to ruin Jesus' birthday party.
That's a good point. I think it reminds me that as I go into this Christmas holiday, and I'm right there with you a lot. So many times I get depressed about this. I have this running thing now. I want a mini helicopter. And for the last 5 years, I've gotten a mini helicopter. And this year, I don't think I'm going to get one. But typical thing, we open presents, we play with the mini helicopter, and it breaks about 15 minutes into it. Yeah. Everybody laughs, and then I end up taking it back and get the cash for it. And then next year, I ask for the same thing. And that's
like a powered operated?
Yeah, little battery operated. Yeah. They're only about...
the little ones.
Yeah, the little ones. A lot of fun.
And here's the other thing, that if... how do I explain this? If the accuser can mess with me and make me hate Christmas, then I'm going to make everybody else hate Christmas.
Yeah.
They're not going to
If
want
I
to
can't
be
have a good
around
time.
me.
Yeah.
And so the accuser, it's like one bowling ball taking out all 10 pins.
Yeah.
You know.
Why? Because it's all about you.
Because again, it's not about me. If you're lucky, you're in a family that won't make it all about you. It's all about Jesus. It's all about family, and it's about the kids. Christmas is really about the kids.
Well, yeah, but now think about that, what you're doing. You're teaching the kids that it's all about them at Christmas.
Well,
I mean, aren't you feeding that into it?
Well, but see, as a kid, it was never about me. Now, I'm not saying it was like that. I had wonderful parents that I love very much, but I felt that it was never about me.
What about if it was your birthday? Would they make it about you because it's your special day?
I had one birthday party when I was a kid, as I recall, and it was out in the park. And the reason I remembered is it had a Batman invitation. And my mother...
It was for you.
It was for me. And my mother once told me that the reason we didn't have a lot of birthday parties was because I was so difficult as a child. And I was difficult as a child. I was very difficult as a child. And why was I difficult? Because I thought I was unlovable. And when you grow up thinking you're unlovable, you're not about to let anything make you feel what? Lovable.
Yeah.
Because I can't be wrong.
Yeah.
I'm unlovable.
That's
You
right, Dan.
treat me the way you do because I'm unlovable.
Right.
The only person that made me feel loved growing up died when I was 10. And understand, you listening to this show, you can relate, can't you? And if you can't, you know somebody. I'm not special. In fact, I probably am the majority of people out there who grow up and they just don't feel loved and they don't feel lovable. And that makes you, I mean, when that demon seed, when that accuser can take that little boy over at age 6 or 7 or 8, good chance it's going to be the rest of your life you're going to feel that way. If in my case,
It's gonna
I
flesh
got
out.
mugged by Jesus.
But aren't you teaching your grandkids? Now, I'm assuming you and your wife are just lavishing the grandkids with all kinds of presents and stuff like that.
No, we limit it.
Okay, but you all get them presents, and it's all about.
Yeah, but they're
But aren't you teaching them? And I'm kind of convicted right here. When our kids are going to come over this weekend,
okay,
or this week, I'm thinking, man, I'm making it all about them. And what am I teaching them?
Okay, but you don't make them about them anymore because they're not kids.
Well, they're adults, but when they
Right.
were growing up,
But see, okay, for instance, our oldest grandson is 15. He's going to learn to make Christmas about his 3-year-old nephew.
Oh.
And
How are you doing that?
9-year-old sister, because you put him at the adult table. Okay.
Ooh.
You give him. What's the first thing that happens in our house when we're done reading the Christmas story and it's time to open presents? The youngest of the kids dish out all the presents. Right? They go under the tree and they put the presents around that. Alex won't do that because he's now approaching adulthood. He's a young man. He doesn't have to do the thing the kids do. He's probably happy about that. What he won't be happy about, he's probably not happy about that because he loves to hand out the presents. But what he will be happy about is that now he can be an example to his 3-year-old. Is it nephew? I guess it would be cousin. His 3-year-old cousin.
So you're teaching. Your strategy is then as when they get to be teenagers, they no longer get to participate at the same level as when
As
they
the
were
kids.
kids.
Yeah.
And you talk. Yeah, I like that.
Absolutely.
Let me ask a question. We're observing the birth of Jesus.
Right.
So it's his birthday.
Right.
Okay, so my question is, what would he want for his birthday? When it's our birthdays, we're treated special in that sense. So what would he want for his birthday?
Yeah. Hey, Bob, happy birthday, Mac. Here's a gift for you.
Yeah. Well,
That's exactly right.
and
I've
there-
often thought that.
There's a lot of Christians who don't like Christmas because of what it's become.
Oh, it's so commercial.
Yeah.
I would like to talk about sometime
Are
today.
ya?
Yeah.
Sometime today, I'd like to talk about traditions and what we do for traditions and family traditions and things like that.
Okay,
But
well, we'll do
what
that
we do.
next.
Yeah.
When we come back. I'm J. Michael McCoy. If I haven't told you lately, thanks for listening. I love this job, and I couldn't do it without you. What do I love about it? I love serving you. Are you down? Are you gloomy? Are you depressed? Are you lonely? Reach out to me, would you? Go to restoringhopelive.com and send me an email, okay? Send me your phone number. Let's talk. And I mean that sincerely. there is somebody out there who can relate to your sadness, can relate to your depression. And if I can do anything to help you, I will, because I love Jesus and I want you to love him too.
Restoring hope.
Today, millions are struggling with alcohol or drug addiction. If you or people you know struggle with a chemical dependency where a substance owns you, and you have other struggles such as depression, anxiety, or trauma that can often go along with it, get your freedom back and successfully transform your life from one controlled by addiction to a clean, sober, fulfilling life. Contact Transformations Treatment Center, where our caring professionals will help you find your freedom. Transformations Treatment Center offers both a 12-step and a Christian 12-step program, providing healing for the mind, body, and spirit. Take the first step by visiting transformationstreatment.com or by calling 877-989-8223 today. At Transformations Treatment Center, we understand the pain. Call now, 877-989-8223. Get your freedom back. Transform your world.
Here's Dan Celia with today's Stewardship Moment.
I always say that our stewardship doesn't start or end with our financial blessings. Listen to Genesis 1:28. Fill the earth, subdue it, rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air, and over every living creature that moves on the ground. God, for some reason, has given us some of his authority and expects us to manage or be good stewards and have responsibility for the environment and the other creatures that share this planet with us. God has entrusted us as stewards of it, and we must not be careless in how we manage it.
You've just heard a Stewardship Moment with Dan Celia of Financial Issues Ministry, helping you plan, give, and invest wisely. For more information, log on to financialissues.org. That's financialissues.org.
Hi, this is Dr. Mike Hartwig. In case you haven't noticed, marriages are in trouble today. One of the things we've learned is that if you don't constantly work on your marriage, it can quickly fall apart. Several years ago, my wife and I put together a first-rate marriage seminar that we would love to partner with you and your church to bring to the people in your community. Simply go to RestoringHopeLive.com and send us an email requesting more information, or check out the seminar tab at RestoringHopeLive.com.
The Pocket Testament League presents Pocket Power. Read, carry, and share the gospel every day. There's no easier way to share your faith than by giving someone a free gift, the Word of God in a compact, pocket-sized gospel.
We use these New Testaments at our outreach called God Mobile. We were so busy, we would hand them the Gospel of John so they could feed on the Word. If this sounds like fun, it was.
Hello, I'm Mike Brickley, president of the Pocket Testament League. We'd love for you to experience the joy that comes from giving someone the inspired Word of God. We'll make it easy for you. Won't you join us?
The packet with the Gospels arrived today, and I thank you guys so much. It's really a blessing. I'm looking forward to giving them out and bringing people closer to our Father.
What are you waiting for? Read, carry, and share the gospel every day. For more information, call 1-800-636-8785 or visit pocketpower.org. That's pocketpower.org.
All across America, there are countless numbers of people struggling with addiction and other life-controlling issues. Probably someone you know and love. There is a way out. There is hope. Transformations Treatment Center in Delray Beach, Florida, has a unique approach to substance abuse treatment. Call now and ask about our Guaranteed Success program or log on to transformationstreatment.com. Transformations. Change your life. Change your relationships. Transform your world.
Restoring hope. Open my heart to sing. Taking the darkness inside. Revealing your light. Restoring hope.
It's Restoring Hope Live, the Sunday before Christmas. And we want to talk a minute about traditions and family traditions and those things that help people maybe get through the holidays. But Bob just revealed to us during the break that, well, you tell him, you're kind of one of those guys that you're sick and tired of the commercialism of Christmas, and you show it.
Yeah, that's true. You know, I think what happens is a lot of people during this time of year get depressed. They have a lot of pressure on them because people have expectations that they need to go out and spends all kinds of money to give to their kids or whoever. And the thing is, what is the purpose of that? We hear about it. It's a tradition that we go out, and then we have this Santa Claus thing.
So you don't buy presents for your family?
Not just for Christmas. If they have
you don't
needs,
buy. If I was your son, you wouldn't buy me a Christmas present this year.
Right.
Oh, man.
I buy him things that he needs throughout the year. So for him, Christmas is whenever I see that he has a need, and I take care of that. Or
you
my
come
daughter.
across much more caring and loving than that you wouldn't buy your own son Christmas present. I'm shocked about that.
You're shocked.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, even I don't do that because I'm not going to get into the commercialism of it.
So I got to bear the consequences.
How's that?
How's that? What do you mean?
How
I don't
do
get
you
a
bear-
Christmas present.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't get a Christmas present from you. You must not be very loving.
Yeah, no, you can ask my kids if you. My kids are adults. You ask them if I'm loving, and they're not going to
So
have a problem with
what
that.
do you do on Christmas then? When you wake up on Christmas Day, when the kids were in the house, what did you do?
Oh, we had presents for them.
Oh, you
then.
back then?
Back then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But what would you do now? What would you, as a young father, what would you recommend?
If the
to me?
kids were here, we'd be together that day.
You just be together and no
Sure.
presents.
Have a meal, right? I wouldn't.
man.
Now, my daughter may buy me something, or my son might.
Hey, Bob, are your kids married?
No, none of them are.
Okay, because when they get married, I wonder how a new family member is going to feel about that.
Yeah,
that they don't get a gift.
I'm sure because of the tradition, they will continue that. Yeah, it's just where I'm coming from.
Yeah. Well, here's my mind, and I don't have a problem. In fact, I've often thought that, but because I think I really buy into what the philosophy is that it is Christ's birthday. Why don't we do something to honor Christ? But
right
in my mind, I'm thinking this is Christ's birthday. We want to make a big deal about this.
Sure. How would he want us to make a big deal? I mean, what is he? He is God is love. It's all about love.
Right.
If you want to, you can certainly help somebody that is in need.
Right.
But you don't have to do it on Christmas. You can do it at any time of the year, and you should do it all the time.
Right. But if we're doing what God calls us to do anyway, I mean, why center it all on Christmas? I mean, I like to consider that we're doing that all the time as God brings needs to our mind.
Let's make a July day that we just buy presents for each other.
Well, but then we're not celebrating Christ. I think God is honored when we make a big deal about Jesus'
Why don't we
birthday.
make a big deal every day?
Oh, why not just have one? You're just sitting back enjoying this.
I'm
aren't you?
enjoying this because I can relate both ways. I was going to add earlier, here's the consequences of me growing up never getting what I wanted for Christmas. And I know, boo-hoo, Mac, you're a crybaby. I am. I know that. I'm just sharing because I know there's people that feel the way. Today and for the last, I don't know how many years, probably all of my life, you ask me what I want for Christmas. I don't care.
Do you realize
I tell my kids make me something homemade. My favorite cookies are oatmeal, butterscotch, and chocolate chip. But kids draw me a picture, whatever you want. But my expectations on ever getting what I really want imploded when I was a kid, and therefore I don't have any expectations.
Yeah, no expectations, no failures.
No, that's right.
No upset.
Nope.
Nobody gets upset.
Yeah. I was just going to say that I tell the kids, don't get me anything. I don't need anything.
Yeah.
Just don't. I said, take the pressure off. There's no need for this. There's no need for you to do that. I know you guys love me. You don't have to prove anything to me. You don't have to buy me anything. I don't need anything. And so I said, so don't do it.
But as somebody who's a high gift person, I mean, I like gifts. I like people when they give me I'm a gift guy. I
That's
just
fine.
like that.
I have no problem with that. Just for me.
So when my wife sits down and says, Mike, hey, I was thinking of you. I want you to have this. I love you.
Yeah.
That's the coolest feeling in the world.
Yeah, but what if it wasn't on Christmas? Would you feel terrible?
Oh, no, I'd feel great too. I mean, it's the same time, but why not?
See, I like that. I do that also.
Right.
I'm the guy that sends my wife flowers for no reason.
Right.
I'm the guy that goes to Hy-Vee, it's a local grocery chain here, and gets the $9.95 bouquet of flowers and just puts them in the middle
But
of the
why
table.
not on Christmas?
What?
Why not on Christmas?
Well, I do on. I'm not as bad as he is.
Oh. But why not on Christmas, Bob?
Well, because you're feeding into
I'm
our
not.
economy. It's all based on our
No,
economy, and you feel bad because
Not at all.
they don't. They make 90% of their
I don't
sales
really
are
care.
Christmas.
I don't really care.
Yeah, but you're you're buying into what they're
Just
saying.
because Walmart offers something at a discount and I go in and buy it, you're saying I shouldn't buy it because it's Christmas time?
No,
That's
you can
ridiculous.
Hey, listen to this, Mike. Wait till you hear this. Bob, how many Christmas services in a church have you been to in the last 25 years?
Oh, I don't know, maybe 10.
Okay, how about in the last 5 years?
None.
One. You came to mind.
Oh yeah, you invited me. You twisted my arm. That's
more
right.
than twisted.
You don't
I
go to
probably
Christmas
shamed
programs?
you.
Huh?
You don't go to Christmas programs?
No.
Why not? Too commercialized.
I just have no desire to go.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I have no desire to go.
And
Does that change my relationship with Christ? No.
Yeah, I sense
And
no.
understand,
Yeah, that's
guys,
true.
Bob is one of, if you're listening to the show for this
Yeah, they
first
don't know
time,
Bob.
Bob is one of the most loving, Christ-centered, caring, compassionate man I have ever known and probably will ever know. So this is not a character of Scrooge here.
Right.
But I couldn't do what you do simply because my wife wouldn't allow it. That would be you sound like the old me. You're trying to ruin everybody else's Christmas.
No, I don't think he's trying to ruin it. He's just living out his twisted view of Christmas.
Well, you know what? I like to do what the Lord directs me to do. Okay? And so I listen to him. If he's telling me I need to go to a church to attend the Christmas deal, I'll do it. But until that time, I'm just going to go where he leads me to go, wherever that happens
Well, I
to
think
be.
he's going to lead you to my church.
Yeah.
You know, we have nine Christmas services.
Yeah, wow.
9.
That's because they're hearing you read the
Christmas
story.
But we'll have probably close to 30. Now, understand, we live in a community of 500,000 people. We'll have 30,000 people come through our church on tonight, Monday, and Tuesday.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So this is going to be this week, Monday and Tuesday, right?
Yeah, our services are tonight and then Monday and then all day Tuesday.
So do you put up a Christmas tree?
There is a Christmas tree of lights in the front of my house.
Interesting.
But he didn't put it up. His wife did.
No, I did put it up for her.
You did?
I did
For her.
For her.
For
Yeah.
her.
Oh.
Yeah, if she wants to do that, that's fine.
Wow.
And see, for me, and I can't say it on the air because she might be listening, but I have a gift for my wife this year that I think is going to knock her socks off. But guess what? I think that every year, and she unwraps it and she goes, "Oh," and then that smile. "Oh, that's so nice. Thank you, honey." And it gets set in the drawer, and that's it. But this year may be different. I got a good one.
There's always hope.
There's always hope. All right, I want to go back to a serious moment for just a second. If you are suffering from some type of hurt, habit, or hang-up and an addiction, please reach out to us. Reach out to the folks at Transformation Treatment Centers. There's a link on our website. It's on my Facebook. Please go to the Restoring Hope Live Facebook page. There's a link there. These folks at Transformations know how to do this. They don't do it with drugs. They do it holistically. They do it Christ-centered. And maybe the Christmas gift you need for Uncle Fred this year or somebody like that is the gift of a treatment center to help them get well. That may be the best thing you could ever do for Uncle Fred and the family and everybody that you love. So, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to all you guys. I love you. Thanks for being part of the show. We'll see you next Sunday as we talk about, of course, what else?
New Year's
resolutions and how to gain the tools to actually make them work. Until then, God loves you. So do I. Just pray.